So this is what we call the Henry Kendall Cottage. Henry Kendall was is a very well-known figure in this area, a very classic sort of Australian poet. And this is called the Henry Kendall Cottage because he lived here for a period of about 9 months while he was nursed back up to health by the actual. Yeah, so this interior of the cottage, all the items here were donated and nothing here is original furniture except for one very exciting piece. But yeah. Henry Kendall himself, the poet.
Okay.
And in here, we have the bed they used to sleep on while he was staying here. And the reason that we know that this is his bed is because if I peel back the mattress a little bit, you can see a little HK engraved into it.
Oh, okay.
So Henry Kendall was a little bit of a vandal, and there are a couple other places, mostly trees, where he also carved his initials into things. So that's really exciting. Yeah, okay.
Okay. So this bed is the only original piece in this house, and we know this because can I touch it?
Well, this is owned by
Henry Kendall, the poet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This bed is the only original piece in this house, and it was owned by Henry Kendall, the poet, and we know that it's original because over here he vandalized it.
Also, he etches.
Yeah, he etched his initials there, and he also etched down some other stuff too. See, if you're a vandal in the past, then it's like a cool piece of history. But if you're a vandal now, that's not good.
Is there some?
Yeah, the violin is that his?
No, that's a donated piece.
Oh.
So yeah, the bed is the only original. I might also say.
Oh dang, that's a huge vandalism right there. HK.
Tuberculosis. A lot of people would have had respiratory issues, and I mean, if you notice that the bed looked really small. I mean, first of all, people just used to be a lot shorter back in the day, anyway.
Right.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think that's the sort of new piece that we got off.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's like for all inside.
Principal. He wasn't a principal teacher, but he was a first principal Freemason. Today we've kind of tried to make it look a little bit more like his venues to suit his materials.
They're not sure what this extension of the house was used for, but it's set up as a bedroom in the 1920s.
Yes, more or less, this is just another room that we're, again, not too sure what it would have been originally used for. And it wouldn't have originally been a separate room from the rest of the house, again, because the walls, walls didn't really become much of a thing for most people's homes. Which very small space and maybe a very uncomfortable space to be raising a family in, which Peter Fagan did. On like Gothic architecture, like cathedrals and things like that. These wouldn't have been original when the house was first installed, but installed later on down the line. But the really interesting thing you'll find about this is that the soil that this is built on is very clay-like, and so it absorbs a lot of moisture, and so the house is basically moving all the time away from the buttresses, and so they've had to put concrete.
I thought it was just something wrong.
All right. Now we are at the Henry Kendall Cottage.
A kitchen display setup, but it wouldn't have actually originally been used as a kitchen. So the reason being is that back then it would have been very, very dangerous to have a kitchen connected to your house in case it burnt down. A lot of cooking safety equipment wasn't quite as developed back then. So again, we're not too sure what this room was here in this blank space,
Oh.
which we believe would have actually probably been the kitchen, although it's not.
Oh.
I'm good.
Here they have a kitchen set up, but back then the kitchen wasn't attached to the actual house because it could have burned down. And in this empty green space over here, they think there might have once been a kitchen building here, but if so, it burned down.
Laundry work, more or less.
So this living here, or is this like a replica or original building?
This building would have been built probably in the 1960s. So this is the way that you would kind of have the way that you put the clothes in there and it would squeeze it dry and you'd put the dunny, according to Australian slang. So it's a little bit dark, but essentially you can see that there are two holes there. So that would have been useful for two things. First of all, you could have two people going for some communal activities with your friends.
Okay, yeah. This is the dunny, which is what we call an outhouse in America, and there's two different toilets, so two people can go at once.
I got shot here earlier.
The next thing I could take you guys to is... But I think it's like, you'll still definitely hear our grandparents saying like, oh okay, I'm just gonna go up to the dunny. Yes, I mentioned before that the central
The maximum capacity is 3.
Oh, yeah.
Maximum capacity.
Oranges.
Yeah, I think that this might be my favorite item here because it's, again, just so intuitive. So it's an orange sorter. So you'd notice...
The central coast of Australia used to be known for citrus, and this is a citrus sorter. So as the orange moves down, it can get sorted into different sizes since the two things are not quite parallel.
That's just lots of woodworking, metalworking, leatherworking, especially down here, sort of industrial.
Oh look at the clothes hanger there.
Oh, wow.
Wait, is that a clothes hanger? What is that?
Yeah, you'd hang like really big pieces of leather on top of it, for example. Might just be like kind of theatrical. It's the bellows, which is the thing that you would use to blow air into a fire. But it's just so enormous that a lot of people almost laugh when they come in here and see that.
Where?
This thing.
This thing. What's it called again?
Oh,
bellows.
huge.
Oh.
This is a bellow which is used to feed the flames of the fire with air, oxygen.
And you're mentioning the size?
Yeah, and it's so huge.
I wasn't sure. Hello?
Which I'm aware is also a state.
What do I talk
Oh, I
about?
thought that was a piano.
I thought that was a piano, but they actually use that to make bigger fires.
Yeah, true.
So we could eat.
Honestly, I think a lot of things here only have like industrial specialists here, but so I guess if we head over to the door down here, that's kind of where the museum begins. So there is like a very vague theming, I suppose, that we buys orientation, and it goes forward in time. So a lot of the items that we have here are sort of 1850s. This is our indigenous display.
Ooh, here.
Wait, when did Australia stop being a prison or whatever for? These are some convict items, because everyone here used to be a prisoner.
Jewel of the museum. So I'll try to make succinct some. Oh, get it.
Soldiers returning.
So this is kind of where it goes a bit sort of forward.
Industry.
doll. How many dolls do they have?
Those sorts of styles of dolls have been much more popular with, I think it's really another typewriter, but like a much more recent typewriter.
Okay. And how about those?
Right, 1, 2, 3. So that one goes up.
Oh, here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure when the company went bust or disappeared, but they're definitely not around anymore.
So like I wasn't sure where to.
Yeah, that's the
What?
And that is the Henry Kendall Cottage.
I really like learning about the history of how things changed and also the house back in the days.
Okay. This is the first historical home we've been to in Australia, so it's interesting seeing how they lived back then, and learning about the citrus industry that used to be in this area.
Go.
All right.